It's early on the east coast of America, but it's Blabbing for Britain, episode 137. To say good morning to Peter Stewart and John Upton. Good morning, gents.
Morning.
Tag.
Good morning.
Oh, we're going a German theme today, I can see. We're going to have a German lesson. We'll make it Ask Angelica does Blabbing for Britain. How's that?
Yes. On my Fahrrad.
We'll talk about bikes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. So we've got one member of the gang, well, somewhere in Stoke. Hopefully he'll join us. So good morning and welcome to Blabbing for Britain, episode 137. Now, I did watch episode 136. I've got to say that I did skip through it, but I did watch it. And it was interesting. I mean,
really? Even the bit with the spar stangle, yeah, you know what I mean, being sang.
I must have skipped the piece where Peter sang. It didn't appear.
Poor old Alfredo thought it was embarrassing.
Tish thought it was wonderful. See, it's all in perception. Anyway, we're back to normal. We're back on the BeLive in 5 page and 10 other pages at the same time. And we best start off. And we'll start off with cricket, of course, because that's the most important topic of the day. I noticed a banner going across the bottom last week which said no cricket, no cricket, no cricket. Well, I'm saying yes cricket because we are playing at the moment, plus test, and it's all even at the moment. So that's cricket done. There you go.
I thought there was a bit of a collapse, and all because of a run out.
Yes, Joe Root was run out on 80, and there was a collapse. 5 wickets fell for 27 runs. And that's cricket. It's unpredictable. It is unpredictable. You can't say exactly what's going to happen in any cricket match. And one can only hope that our bowlers today can do the job and polish off their innings.
And what about the young man who caught the 6?
I didn't catch that bit. John, do you want to expand?
That's had its own front page on BBC and Sky. A young man caught a 6 in the crowd. Oh. And everybody cheered him and etc. And the cricketers clapped as well.
See, this cricket is a family-friendly game. Totally. You can take the whole family to watch a cricket match. And there is rarely any trouble. It's not a contact sport. It's just gentlemen, normally, gentlemen playing a game of cricket.
Oh, and apparently they were allowed to take their jackets off last week because of the extreme heat in the members' enclosure.
I see.
The members normally have to keep their jackets on.
Yes.
Edgbaston, I don't know about cricket venue. All-day boozing venue would be a more accurate description.
It just so happens that the bars are open. Say good morning to Nadeem. Thank you for joining us. Right. Okay. Now, Facebook and Instagram are introducing a time limit tool.
Really?
The basic principle behind this is that you limit your usage of said applications by giving yourself a time limit, which you're not supposed to exceed. Does that present a problem? Is it a good idea or a bad idea?
Well, I've normally got 6 or 7 Facebook pages open at the same time. So how does it work if that's the case?
Yeah, I've got 2 open at the moment. I think it's primarily a mobile tool.
All right.
So it basically is saying that people are using the internet too much.
It's a bit late though, isn't it, really? I mean, you know, we all used to think we were doing well if we got 2 gig of data a month. My daughter's just renewed her phone and she's got 80 gig of data a month.
I'm unlimited.
Data?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody does unlimited data, Peter.
I've got unlimited, yeah. £30 a month.
Who's that with?
3.
Trouble with 3 is reception's crap round here.
Yeah. When I went in, the young guy looked at my phone. He looked up at me and he said, "Do you know you spend over 50% of your time on Facebook?" I says, "Aye." Because I've got it for the business as well, you see. And I do Facebook adverts. So they've done extremely well recently. So yeah, so I wouldn't like a time limit on it. I'll decide how much time I want to do.
Right. I'll add to that. In phone and internet use, the number of mobile calls dropped for the first time in 2017.
Well,
so
it's quite an interesting stat, that, isn't it? Because, of course, I hardly ever use my landline. I have unlimited calls on my landline. But even if I'm sat here and I want to call somebody, I will pick my mobile phone up and call them.
Yeah, I'm the same. Never use the landline. It's only there for the internet to come down the line.
I agree. It's very rare I actually make a phone call. I think that the thing is, it's a lot easier to message somebody now.
That's right.
Because messages are not so intrusive, are they? You can decide whether to answer them and when.
My wife has had a new experience in the last week with mobile phones because our daughter's gone to Spain, and she's been talking to us by video over Messenger. It shocked my wife that you could even do it.
Right. And they're also saying that the average person picks up their phone every 12 minutes.
Yep.
Well, I don't make
that. I mean, the other stat was that most people look at their phones within 5 minutes of waking up. Well, I can't find my phone 5 minutes after I've woken up, so it's not me.
My phone is my alarm clock.
Yeah,
I don't wear a wristwatch anymore either, because I've always got a phone with me.
Don't talk to me about watches. I've got an Apple Watch, and obviously with Operator, I never used the watch for over a year. I tried to set it up again. It didn't start. Took it in. They said if it's not the software with battery, and you'll have to buy another watch, you'll get it half price. So I've got an Apple Watch for sale because I'm leaving Apple.
The Apple Watch is quite interesting because my daughter bought her partner, I won't call him boyfriend because they do live together, an Apple Watch as a present. And 3 days later, he'd lost it. But because of the capabilities of the watch, she was able to find it down to which house it was in, because you can find your phone on the Apple Watch.
And had somebody stolen it?
Well, no, she knocked on their front door and they said they picked it up in the street, but they'd only picked it up in the street in the last couple of hours and they hadn't had time to hand it into the police station. So where'd you go from there?
Yeah.
One of the most useful bits of software I've got a Fitbit. Now, a Fitbit is only about a year big. So if you misplace it, you're screwed. Unless you've got the GeoBit Finder, which actually locates your Fitbit to within feet of where it is. So I normally find my Fitbit in my shorts pocket in front of the washing machine, ready to go into the washing machine. So it's been rescued many times.
I'm gonna wait and buy I'm gonna buy an Android classic watch, S3, Gear S3, and because it's got a big face. Have you got one? Is that the classic?
No, this is a smartwatch compatible with Android.
All right.
It's not doing anything because it needs charging. It was £14 from Lidl.
All right, okay. Yeah.
When it's charged,
On the thick side.
When it's charged, what does it do?
Yes.
It only tells you that you've got a call. You can't answer the call through the
Oh,
watch. It tells you you've got messages and things like that.
Right. Okay.
No, this one's from a heart rate when I'm out cycling. It's got a big face.
I think this does that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Right. We'll say good morning to.
It's got a sensor on the back. I don't know if you can see it, but
Mike Turner, hello.
We'll say good morning to Mr. Mike Turner from down in Plymouth.
Good gosh.
Yeah. And so we've got Nadeem and Mike with us. Good morning, both. Okay, now just going right. I just want to stay with sport for a minute and age, really. Andy Murray has won through the second round by beating the top Brit, Kyle Edmund, over in the States, and it's a triumph of experience over youth, really, because Edmund is only 23 and Andy's a bit older than that. But
does that mean he climbs up the world rankings then? Because he was something like 850th, wasn't he?
That's right. It's crazy, yeah. He's gone from world number 1 to number 800 and odd, and obviously better than that. But he's not been playing. If you don't play, you don't get the points. If you don't get the points, you don't get the ranking. But he is British, Peter, isn't he?
British.
I thought he was Scots myself, but
well, I'm just being. He's winning. He's
British when he's winning and Scots when he's losing.
This is if people say to me, "What nationality are you?" I say British. I'm British.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. I do say Scotland. I'm British. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Well, if somebody says, I would tend to reply English, but John?
English.
Yeah.
That's because I don't want to be accused of being Welsh, you see.
Or Irish. Right, okay, we've covered all 4 countries, actually, which were part of Great Britain. Okay, now it's going to be a bit more sport. Premier League transfer news. John, do you know what? This is a true story. You posted about the Championship the other day, and I was about to click some Championship news. So I was about to click on it, and I thought, hang on, we're not in the Championship. Because Burnley are in
the thing I linked to will show you my predictions of who's going to finish where in the Championship.
Oh, right, okay. And there were?
Oh, God, off the top of my head, I actually put Middlesbrough as number 1.
Okay, good.
My surprise for next year is that they will do really well. And then Lord Red would be very happy because I put Stoke City second.
You think they'll bounce back up? I
do. And I think they made a very wise choice of manager, and the investments they've made recently have been stunning. Sorry. So it was Middlesbrough first, West Brom second, Stoke City third, Villa fourth, Swansea City fifth. I won't go through the other 17.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. But I mean, the Premiership transfer news from Burnley is exciting.
Have you actually got someone? You've spent some money.
No, we've not spent a penny. Burnley have not spent a penny so far, and some teams have spent over 150 million. And
yeah,
Burnley.
Did you see the piece on the BBC last night?
No, go.
Please, can I buy a player underneath a shot of your leader?
Sean Dyche. There's a video I want to watch after the show where Sean Dyche explains his feelings when he's playing Manchester City.
Oh, you mean the monetary thing?
Yeah.
I've watched it. It's less than 15 seconds long. So it just basically says that the guy from Aberdeen, an ex-WBA player, McInnes, when he compares their finances with Burnley's finances, how would he feel if he had to play how does he think that Sean feels when they play Man City?
Right. So it's
that's the entire thing in the video.
Trying for headline over content. Okay, and Mike is saying that he is definitely Cornish.
Yeah, but they don't play football down there, do they?
No, I can't think of a Cornish football team.
There is Truro City.
Oh, man, Plymouth have got a football team. Plymouth Argyle.
Yeah.
That's not Cornwall.
No, that's Devon. Yeah. Well, it's southwest.
Torquay United.
That's Devon.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah. That's even nearer than... So you've got Exeter City, Torquay United and Plymouth are your Devon teams, plus Barnstable in the National League.
Impressive.
In Cornwall, you've got Truro City, and I think that's it league-wise.
Right, okay. Plymouth are Devon, and Mike is definitely Cornish.
Yeah, Mike lives the other side of the bridge, don't you, Mike?
Yeah. We've definitely established that one. Okay. Now, the pound in your pocket. This is not a Brexit story, but for the first time in 10 years, Bank of England may well raise the interest rates today.
Got that on my list, funnily enough.
Yay! We match, snap. I mean, this is, I mean, the economy is not overheating really, but they're going to do it. They're going to raise it from 0.5% to 0.75%.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 10 years is a long time. And will it be a shock to us when it goes up?
Is it the first time in 10 years?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I thought they raised it from 0.25 to 0.5 less than 10 years ago. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. Anyway, I mean, obviously the effect is on people who've got mortgages and people who've got deposits and savings in building societies and banks. Both are affected in different ways. People with mortgages will pay more and people with deposits will receive less. Is that right? No, I got it wrong.
The last rise was in 2017.
Oh, right. Okay. Peter and I were reading the same story. The BBC have obviously made a botch of it because we scanned the headlines and
yeah.
The interest rate remained steady from 2009 to 2017, and in 2017 it went down 0.25% and then later went up 0.25% back to 0.5.
Doesn't sound a lot to me, but it sounds a lot to people that are living on the border of it already, and that little wee touch will hit them hard. But however, I remember the day it went up to 15%. Do you remember that day?
Oh, yeah.
I can remember 15% on my mortgage.
Yeah, 15%. Yeah. So you think you've got it hard nowadays? Well, let me tell you.
The interesting thing is in the same article on the BBC, Sir Dave Ramsden, who's one of the group, said, don't expect the banks to pass it. Banks and building societies to pass it on in full to savers.
Or to savers. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay, now this is Google are actually going to do a search engine for China. Now, they started one in 2010, I believe. John may correct me on this, but they started one in 2010. And because of the furore about it, they scrapped it. But now they're actually going to build an engine for China, which will be heavily censored. Yeah. Do we go along with the basis that somebody's going to do it anyway? It may as well be Google.
Well, I think it's a bit hypocritical of them, because if they don't like some people's type of speech, they shut them down.
True.
Yeah. And now they're going to a country where obviously...
Google must want to do it because of all the potential people they can advertise.
Of course, it's
if they can't deliver the results they'd like.
There's a bit of hypocrisy there as well. You know? Because they're all for free speech, but they'll go in with China. We'll make a search engine for you Doesn't matter what you do elsewhere, you know. Nobody allowed to be able to come up and speak against you.
I'm not sure I understand Corinda's statement. At last they need to do that for their own country.
Basically, I think I try. Corinda's saying that China should do their own search engine.
Well, they already do.
I've been nothing much in it.
Thank you for sharing, Corinda. And Corinda's also saying our government are greedy. Well, we're not going to argue with that one, are we?
Selling their old Maxi Tong uniforms.
I've got my little red book somewhere.
Yeah. There's a song there, you know, by the Drifters.
Yeah.
There's a more than a number in my little red book.
All right, I've not actually got it on the list because I was trying to avoid it. But what do we think of Mrs. May and President Macron meeting whilst on holiday?
I hope they enjoyed their fish and chips.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know they'd done that, to be honest with you. I'm getting a bit disinterested now. Never thought I would say that. But
I knew that she'd gone to the opera with somebody's finance minister, but I didn't know that she'd met with Macron.
Yeah, she was invited to join him at his south of France holiday home, or is it Italy? I'm not sure. And they're getting together, and one side is saying that it's May capitulating and saying, please help us with the votes that are coming up. And the other side is that Macron is going to tell her what she needs to do. So
yeah, sit down, have a cup of tea. Now this is what you need to do.
Cancel Brexit. That's what he's going to tell her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there is, again, I'm not putting a headline up, but recent polls say that the percentage of people wanting a second vote is going up by the day, and the people are disappointed in what they're doing.
That's a certain type of, is that like a Sky poll or that type of?
It's the government polling agent. What are they called? YouGov.
Oh yeah, they'll be manipulated as well within their civil servants. Just phone people that we think will change their mind. Go and ask them first, then put it in.
Corinda says we need Brexit. I'm afraid two of the three of us here don't agree. So,
well, in actual fact, 82% of people polled said that the government were doing a bad job of organising Brexit.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. What they need to do is say, step aside. We're Brexiteers. We'll get it good for the nation for moving on. Because you've got self-interest. You've always wanted to stay in. Let's go for a good deal. And if it was me and Donald Trump, I'd sit there and say,
even if we exit Brexit in a clean manner, we will suffer with lack of inward investment. I really worry that Tata will not invest in the Solihull plant at JLR.
Again, that's self-interest for your area. Now, what happens when our backs are up against the wall? We've got to get together and say, right, let's make the best of it now. Doom, I just wish Winston Churchill was still here. He would have sorted you lot out. I'm telling you that much. He would have said, our backs are against the wall. And
he would never have let Brexit get on the table.
He would have not done a Cameron.
Because
the problems that Cameron was trying to get rid of are still there.
But if it happened during this time, and it had to go for the Brexit, and they said we're leaving, he would have said, let's get on with it. We're British, we'll do something about it.
We'll carry on with that, but just to go to Stephen's point, May wants to split France from the 26, and there's no chance of that. I agree. Do we agree that France have just go? I mean, logically, they go with the 26. They don't go with Britain, do they? And YouGov mostly does polls and surveys for Tory papers.
What's a Tory paper? I don't think there are that many Tory papers anymore. I think more and more papers are actually getting less aligned with parties because it causes them too much trouble.
Well, that is one of the problems in Britain. There's too much domination by papers left and right, and the only
And,
the blinkers
and
in the
more and more
blinkers.
papers are losing influence because people are not buying them anymore because they
Correct.
get it all for free on the internet.
And they get blinkered in their views, and they wonder why they lose their readership. You know?
Well, as John says, it's just easier to read it online.
Well, I mean, I have to say I buy a paper at least 6 days a week because I like to sit down and read a newspaper.
Yeah, I'm the
because I
same.
spend half my life, well, more than half my life on the bloody internet. So do I really want to do everything on the internet?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I can't believe how much a newspaper costs today.
Well done, Stephen Bates. Thank you very much. Could you maybe put up the left-wing papers now, please, to give us a fair assessment of what papers do what? Save me typing them. I think Mirror's one of them. Yeah.
Do people really spend 95 pence Monday to Friday for a paper? Because that's what the local paper costs around here now.
Yeah.
And on a Saturday, it's £1.10.
Yep.
It doesn't publish on a Sunday. They have another name for it on a Sunday, and it's nearly £2.
Yeah.
So reading the newspaper is an expensive lark these days.
Yeah.
Right. And Stephen says he reads the Eye and he's pleased that paper sales are dropping.
So
Stephen
Bates, could you write what type of demographics the Eye? Is it left wing, right wing?
Well, the Eye's more advertising free than anything.
All right,
the thing is, if you buy an Eye, you don't get enough toilet paper to last the week, you know?
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is it's a very thin newspaper.
Yes,
a quick read.
And that's why it's called the Eye, because most people they look at it and they go, Aye.
Right, okay. Now, we wouldn't be British if we didn't talk about the weather. This current dry spell is going to last at least until,
when's it going to start then? Because it rained here yesterday.
It's warming up here today. Peter, how is it with you in Aberdeen?
I'm just looking outside. When I come out of the house to come to the office, the heat wave, I could feel it on my back. It was fantastic.
Yep.
And I know by the more people that go outside, the more people see wasps, the more people call my business lovely jubbly. Yeah.
But you're a murderer.
Yeah, I know I've been accused of that before.
No, I've read the thread, mate. That
Did you
says
read
you're
it?
a murderer.
Did you write the thread?
Everyone's accused him of being a murderer because he gets rid of wasp nests.
But do you know that the public certainly sorted them out, did they?
Well, you know, there was quite a few positives towards you, Peter, but you're still a murderer and he wants you to recite them, not kill them.
Well, he's quite happy to come and tackle a wasp nest himself and see how far he gets with it.
And you talked about anaphylactic shock.
Yeah, we had a guy in hospital, rushed to hospital, was taken in, and when he got out, he phoned us to get out and get rid of the problem. People die each year with stings, Kuhn's disease.
When my mum and dad passed on, I had to have a few repairs done to the house to make it saleable.
Yeah.
One of them was to re-roof the bay window, which had got a traditional macadam, whatever you want to call it, style thing. The man came round, he lifted it up, and the poor bloke got stung twice right on the face, and it swelled up that much he had to go to hospital.
Yeah, it's very dangerous, you know, very dangerous. What if he'd been up a ladder, fell back, onto his back, broke his back, you know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so we got the pest control man out, and he got rid of
Did you not think
his lance and his white powder?
Yeah. Did you not think I handled it diplomatically?
I was really surprised you didn't sing to them.
No, don't mention the word.
I thought about it and I said, I'm just going to be diplomatic here, and it worked out for the best for me, you know?
Yeah. But
it was quite an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Do you have a program called Ambulance on your your BBC region?
I think I have seen it. The down in Birmingham.
Well, on last night, just funnily enough, talking about however you pronounce the word anaphylactic shock. A young lady had anaphylactic shock at school, but the school thought it was an asthma attack.
Yeah.
Fortunately for her, the ambulance less than 4 minutes away, so they arrived in 4 minutes. But it turns out she was in anaphylactic shock, and they administered drugs. If they hadn't been as close as they were, she probably would have died. And I never realised quite how serious anaphylactic shock is.
Yeah, and I get people calling me in tears, allergic to wasp stings, and they carry an EpiPen with them as well.
Yeah.
And they'll phone or something, say, how quick can you get here, please? And I try and rearrange things to get to them very quick to help them out. So, yeah, you just never know. Some people find out they've got an allergic reaction when they drop down dead after one sting. And that happens every year. You know, even beekeepers die with stings after. Yeah, beekeepers.
It's honey season. Our beekeepers on the allotments have declared we can buy honey on the 12th of the month.
Very good.
Last year's jar has only had about 2 teaspoonfuls taken out of it, so I don't think I'll be bothering.
Well, talking of allotments, how's the lack of rain affected your allotment, John?
Parts of it are parched beyond belief, but the parts that matter to me, I've had 4 big 210 litre drums that I've filled up with water. Right. You're allowed to fill a drum up with water from using a hose, but you're not allowed to water the plants with a hose. So I've just been dunking, and so my beans and things like that are fine.
You know what gets me?
My raspberries just dried up and went. But what's really amazingly good this year are the blackberries. They're all over not just my plot, but all over and it seems like the drought's done them good.
Yeah, we've got about 20 bunches of grapes in the garden.
Well, grapes are one of the things that, of course, have benefited because we've had a more Mediterranean climate.
Yeah.
There's a lady 4 plots up from me. She's got an old piece of basket weave, and she's got a grape growing over the top of that. It's got 30 bunches on it.
Incredible.
It's got 2 or 3. It's just amazing.
We're making wine soon. No, I think it is incredible the way that different parts of the garden are affected by it. I mean, if I see a green lawn at the moment, I think people are misusing water.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have a discussion with the council. I mean, it's a council-owned plot, and it's a council rule that says you can't water with a hose. In fact, all the studies say that watering with a hose uses less water than dunking in and taking your watering can, because you end up spilling water when you pull the watering can out. And also, when people stick their hose pipe, they go off to do another job, and half a gallon or 2 or 3 gallons of water gets spilt over the lip, you know. So because they've lost it, you know, it's not on their attention span anymore. So
indeed,
we like to allow. We do have 2 people who are exempt from the rule. Both quite elderly gentlemen. Right. One of them was is in his mid-90s. So,
wow. Well, to be allotmenteering at that age, brilliant. Right, okay, and just Stephen noted this as well. The housepipe ban has been cancelled. It was going to be in the northwest. It was going to start soon, but they've stopped it because of the rain that we've had. Because we did have a little bit of rain over the weekend.
A little bit.
Well, it depends where you are. You either had a lot.
We had quite a lot. We had massive thunderstorms twice.
Right. Okay. Noted. Right.
Of course, in Wiltshire, you choose what weather you get, don't you? You know.
Well, it depends which part of the county you're in. Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate Wiltshire-wise. Right, time for a short advertisement or promotion, whatever you will. Next week, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern, is a series of 5 shows all about improving your live broadcasting. And myself, Brigitte Limbanda, Annie Mura, Erin Strayer, Linda West, Debbie Burrows, Cheryl Piper, and RJ Redden will be getting together over those 5 days to take you through 5 topics: camera confidence, show planning, repurposing. What's the 4th one? Help, I've forgotten the 4th one. Show promotion, and we're going to then look at replanning, planning and confidence again. So over those 5 days, all of which are free to watch, and you can either catch us live or watch the replay. This is 5 days live, supported by BeLive.tv on BeLive.tv, and you can catch it on the BeLive in 5 page and the live video hub, 3 p.m. every day next week. Looking forward to that because some great people involved. In actual fact, I came up with the idea 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And by 3:30, the other 7 people involved all said yes. So you know you're onto a good idea when everybody says yes straight away. So if you want to improve your broadcasts, this is for people who already broadcast. If you want to improve your broadcasts and increase your reach and know how to present yourself on camera and to promote your show and do everything in relation to a show, then join us next week. Promotion over. Okay, now that's an international event because we've got the United States and South Africa and England involved. Right, okay, on to the next topic.
I think David's photo makes him rather look regal, don't you? You know, he's posing there just like he was King George or...
Well,
you can't see it, unfortunately. You can only see his head in your picture.
Can't see it.
Yeah, there it is. That's the full photo. Yes. I mean, that he obviously had that shot specially taken for promoting his broadcasting in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. And he's just such a great guy. He broadcasts live hockey games in Sarnia. He broadcasts all the local events that go on there. And he's bringing his son into the business as well. His son's at university and studying social media and live video, and they're working together as a team to promote local events in
Have you watched them live gaming as well?
I don't get this live gaming lark. What do you think?
I got bored after 5 minutes, but I did watch them for a little while.
I think I could do the same. I mean, live video is big business. We're talking billions of pounds are actually spent sponsoring these events where people play games for a living. And they play live and you can watch the gameplay on screen. You can interact with the people who are actually playing on screen if you use the system from our friends over at Lightstream. But I just don't get it. I don't get it. If you're involved in a game, all well and good, but watching somebody else play. Yeah. Peter.
Yeah, well, I'm still here. Right. What was we talking about? Yeah, live streaming. I actually met a guy yesterday at the business club, and he's going to be doing virtuality. It was called TEA. It was going to have a cafe and they're going to do loads of things virtually, like getting architects to make buildings. You can walk through it. And then I told them that every Wednesday I used to be in virtual reality inside a tank when I used to do my I've got a tank simulator. I've been an ex-tank soldier, and every Wednesday we used to meet up and fight live in virtual reality inside tanks. Did you know about that?
We do now.
Yeah, so and it's something that they use to train some armies. It's the same equipment, well, nearly the same software as armies use to train.
Funnily enough, the simulator at Birmingham Airport, which is for a 757, can now be booked for a private lesson.
Yes, that's correct.
£278 plus that for an hour.
I've got something. Obviously, it's called Track IR, and they used to put it on top of a baseball cap, and you would be flying, and you can look out the window, look above you. Absolutely fantastic. Took you into a different world, and this guy was quite impressed. An old dude like me knew quite a lot about virtual reality, and it will come. It will come. And I used to thoroughly enjoy it.
Right. 2 topics for you, Peter. See, I don't forget you. Cycling.
Yes.
Oh, have you got your thingy? Because that was what I wanted to talk about.
Yes. Right. So this is made by the famous Oxford company that does all things bicycles, and this is a reflector that goes onto my bicycle, and it's to encourage motorists to let them know I'm there, but also to let them keep their distance when they pass me. And it's quite amazing. Once I put it on.
In the West Midlands.
Yes.
A policeman's been riding a bicycle.
Yes, I've seen it.
And they've been stopping people who pass too close to him.
That's correct.
They're given words of advice. They're not prosecuted.
Well, they are, because they're taken away and they're given the 1 point. What they're asked, what they say to them, would you like to come along and we'll give you some education? And they've got a mat that's 1.5 meters. Yeah. If they say no, they get a fine and they get points in their license. But if they can, one lorry driver contested it. He says, no, I'm not taking it. He says, I'm contesting it. I wasn't. So do you know what happened to him? He went to court. He's not a lorry driver anymore. He lost his license. And he got a bigger fine.
Well, they've actually were on the television a couple of nights ago. They were not doing anything other than giving them roadside words of advice. It was probably done specifically for TV, I would suspect.
Yeah,
but right. They were measuring how the distance with.
That's right. And the distance is
further down the road.
And the distance is
1.5 meters.
1.5 meters. Because get to know that distance, because in England, certainly, I know that they are going to be prosecuting and giving you 3 points and they'll have it on camera. And also, there's a new website. I call it the grass. Well, up here we would call it Clipe Line. It's the grass line. Basically, it's a website the police have set up, or the camera company have set up, I beg your pardon, Next. That's the name of the Next base. And if you think someone's endangered your life or anything like that, you put the clip on there and it's sent to the relevant police authority and they get a knock on the door and prosecuted if it's too dangerous. What do you think of that?
That's almost as bad as the idiots that film themselves doing 165 mile an hour on their motorbike, post it on YouTube, and then get a knock on the door.
I've seen that the other day.
Because they've included their registration.
Indeed.
Now, I know if you're from London, cycling's a big problem because they're like a mad bunch of hornets getting into their work in the morning. It's a battle between the cyclists and the cars getting into London because there's not the infrastructure for them really. And you've got cyclists that are going over the red light and everything. But I was on a talk radio show last night with James Real Talk Radio, and I was thanked for the way I portrayed everything. That he says, what do you think about this? And I says, well, I think that everybody that drives a car when they're doing their driving learning should maybe go on a bike in an area for 15 minutes, half an hour to get what it's like on a bike. Some more bike training so they understand the bikes on the road. And in London, there's also been money given. It's called Van Smart. And one cyclist put on a forum, he was saying that his work took all the van drivers and they put him on the course for the day. He didn't tell them he was actually a cyclist, his friends at work. And basically in the morning, they were calling the cyclists everything. They don't pay tax and everything, which isn't true. And then they give them theory, and then they put them in the streets of London on bicycles. And when they come back, they had all completely changed their attitude when they seen the idiot drivers that were swerving past them and everything. And it was quite interesting. Very, very interesting. What's your thoughts?
We obviously haven't got any.
I'm a walker, not a cyclist. That's my defence. Yeah, I mean,
I have two bikes. Both of them have got flat tyres. Neither of them have been ridden in 18 months.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by woodland in Devizes, and we went on a new walk yesterday. Devizes have taken over a wood, and they have done a 1.25 mile path through that wood, and it's just glorious. I mean, sun's beating down, but you're in the cool of the wood. So when we get a heat wave this weekend, and Gareth and I will go straight to there and just be cool, because it's just, there's nothing better than being out walking. Nothing better at all. So shout out to Devizes Council for actually taking over the wood and providing facilities there, because it is just absolutely brilliant. If you check out Angelica's timeline, you'll see photographs from the walk yesterday, and it is a walk amongst the trees, and there are deer and squirrels in there, although we didn't on the day actually see any of them. Right, okay, now the second thing dear to your heart, Peter, other than cycling, is coffee. But the story is not... When's the last time you went to McDonald's?
Do you know I went there for the first time last week? Okay.
And the story of McDonald's serving a pregnant Canadian cleaning fluid latte is, well, it's going viral at the moment.
But we all make mistakes, and someone had made a mistake. They owned up to it. They offered her alternative. Somebody have to draw a line and say, let's stop attacking people because they made a simple mistake.
Right, to emphasize that point, Peter and I have nothing to add to it. In fact, to say that if somebody makes a mistake and you're attractive, then you can get some mileage out of it. Right, okay. Well, it's true. It is true. I mean, that story has gone viral because the young lady happens to be, anyway,
quite pretty.
Well, listen, I actually got £15 back from the bank yesterday because they made a mistake for me, which I'm going to spend in a McDonald's.
Right. Well, there you go. So it's not changed your opinion, Peter. And you're unlikely to get a cleaning fluid latte there. So perhaps that's good. Now I've actually run out of stories. Peter, have you anything left over from last week? Because I know you've got a list.
Topics.
Okay, John, over to
you. John?
I've got 2 football topics, one of which involves a pair of you, but I'll talk about the other one first.
Right.
Is Gareth Southgate worth £4 million a year? Oh no, right, Stephen's eyes are moving, so he's not frozen.
Right. Well, let's just put this in context. FA are keen to extend the England manager's contract, and the problem they've got.
Put it in. He's currently on £1.5 million, and with bonuses he can earn £2.25 million.
Yeah,
as England manager. Both his predecessors earned more than that, including the man that only lasted 63 days and 1 match. They're proposing to put him up to £4 million with a bonus that could take it to £5 million a year. Is that good money? Value for money? Are we paying him too much? Are we underpaying him?
It's market forces, isn't it? I mean, if he was poached by a Premier League club, which is possible, then he would earn more than that.
Well, both the Manchester United both Manchester teams,
Yeah.
managers are on basics of £15 million, with potential earnings well over 20 million.
All right. That's heading towards being obscene, isn't it?
Well, is it when you're paying some players 390, 400,000 a week? Should the manager earn more than the players? I mean, in my mind, they should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Right,
does
okay.
anybody really need to earn £390,000 a week?
No.
It's football. It's a different lifestyle from us. You know,
All right,
we're
we'll move on to football topic
We've
number
done
2.
4.
Football topic number 2 is you two meet head to head again tonight.
Was it tonight? Is it? Oh yeah, that's right. My partner's son's away down to Burnley. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. No, this is a decider. Won the piece last week, but you're playing at Turf Moor tonight, so it could be a totally different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about it.
I can tell, Peter. I can tell. This is your football team playing in Europe at the pinnacle of the game.
If they do beat Burnley and get to the next level, it could bring millions of pounds into your city.
Seen it all before.
There's nothing makes a city or town feel better than their football team doing well.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you. It doesn't affect me. Just doesn't affect me at all. They don't even use me for pest control. They use somebody else. So why should I support them?
Okay, the competition.
Yeah, why should I support them and dig him out? In fact, I've got to say, once a month I'm at Tawdry Stadium because we'll have a network meeting there, you know.
Uh-huh.
But that's my only interest in football.
It's our national game.
But you said the word national. Yeah, Scotland's a different nation from England. And anyway, there's twice as many people in London as there are in the whole of Scotland. So,
yeah. No, being 46% Irish in my blood, I would have loved to have got an Irish passport just in case things go wrong. But you can only get one generation away. Did you know that?
What do you mean things go wrong?
You could get an Irish passport tomorrow and be dual nationality.
Well, I'll tell you,
it's only one generation.
Yeah, true story. Angelica's been over here for over 30 years, and she spent more time in the UK than she has in Germany. And when she took her British nationality, at that time she had to lose her German nationality.
Okay.
By default, there was nothing you knew about it. So now she is in the throes of actually getting dual nationality and getting a German nationality back. She's got to go through a series of hoops. And this is a true story. We went to a tennis club where the German consul in Bristol holds surgeries on Thursdays and Fridays. So we went on Friday to his surgery, and he has a small office in the sports centre, and it's bedecked with everything German. And he went through her application. That application has now been sent to the German embassy in London, who are not approachable, which is why Angelica went to Bristol. And she's now got to wait and see. And it's not automatic. She's got to prove all over again that she's actually born in Germany of German parents. Wow. And it's not as easy as you think.
Why did she have to give it up in the first place?
Those were the rules.
All right.
Right, they're not the
British rules, was it, or the German rules?
German rules. They're not the current rules, which is why she can apply for it back.
Yeah.
The rules changed back in 2007 that you could be dual nationality.
Right.
Yeah. So if you gave up one, you still retain the other. Well, no, you know what I mean. You actually had two nationalities.
My sister Janine, who sadly died 4 years ago, she lived in Canada and was married to a Canadian. And she had 2 passports.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever she came to the UK, she used her UK passport to get in. And whenever she went home, she used a Canadian passport to get in.
Yeah, that's
So it
what
saved
people do.
hours of queuing
That's
and
what people do.
interrogation.
I've got a friend who's just became British, and he's Indian, and he says it breaks my heart, Peter, but I've got to give up my Indian nationalship because he's wanting to be British. He's got to be British because he wants to build his business here. He's doing okay, but in his heart, he's an Indian, you know, and he's had to do it. And then here's a strange one. The DUP leader, or was it the DUP leader, has actually said to Protestants in Northern Ireland, apply for your Irish passport. And that's staunch Protestants. They've actually been advised.
Yeah, because all people in Northern Ireland can be dual nationality, can't they?
Yeah, that's correct. And I've got a relative, and he's staunch Protestant, and it sticks in my throat to get one. And so there it is. But listen, let's move on to a quick subject. What's happening to Labour with the anti-Semitism? What's going on there? Silence.
Again, John, I have no views. I just
Or are
don't
you
know enough
scared?
about
Are
it.
you maybe scared to give your views?
No.
The thing is, where I live, Labour used to have a small press. I mean, I live in a conservative stroke liberal Democrat area.
Yeah.
And Chelmsley Wood, I'm sure you're familiar, but Chelmsley Wood was where Birmingham City Council 40 years ago dumped all its I don't want tenants. And then 1974, it became part of Solihull. So that was very, very staunch Labour. Yeah. But even that's not anymore. So the one last Labour councillor that held on to the very end was replaced by a Green candidate this year.
Oh.
So in some way, we don't really have any Labour at all.
So how's the question really, man? Can Jeremy Corbyn last with the pressure he's got on him just now regarding this subject?
Who would they replace him with is their problem.
Yeah.
But there's a split in the party. Wouldn't you agree?
There's a split in every political party.
Comes to something though when your deputy leader, Mr. Watson, makes outright statements about an individual always being a ignorant, and I think he used a word I'm not going to use on here.
Yeah. Interesting times politics just now, don't you think? Yes.
But we were saying earlier that politics bores the pants off us at the moment. So
yeah, I still got to listen in though. But obviously the Jewish people are
cancelling Brexit, mate, whether you like it or not.
I'll tell you, to be honest, I really can't care anymore. But I'll tell you, if Brexit is cancelled, I can see trouble in this country. Just like a poll tax. Remember the poll tax? Remember the riots in the street?
I get more and more convinced as I talk to people that people realise what the government should have done is sorted out what Brexit will be before even going for a vote.
Well, it's a plot against Labour. Yeah. Interesting.
What?
Stephen, you never did put up the names of that papers were left wing.
Oh, yes, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, I smiled when Stephen typed that because I don't see that as a left-wing magpie.
No, is the independents maybe causing some trouble for me?
Right.
My dog's barking. Which one? Anyway, interesting times. Obviously, the Jewish people are scared at the moment, you know, because in North London, even their synagogues are protected by security guards. Something wrong there, isn't there?
It's the tip of a very big iceberg, Peter, because you could go over to the Middle East and the tables are the other way around. And Stephen's saying out in the mirror is left wing.
Oh, right. I'll dig that out then.
We've come to the end of episode 137 of Blabbing for Britain, and it's over to Mr. John Upton to close the show.
Oh, I get the responsibility again.
You do, yeah.
well, hopefully we'll get some nice weather this weekend. So enjoy your weekend, relax, forget about work, and enjoy your weekend. So it's goodbye from us. That's him up there in Scotland, or is the Scotland's up there somewhere? Him down there in Wiltshire.
Yep.
Lord Red, who didn't turn up today in Stoke-on-Trent, and myself. So goodbye.
Bye, everybody. See you next week. Bye. And 3, 2, 1.